Well, I'm back again. Just can't leave this game alone. Had a few problems in the last stream. Frame rate kept going up and down, and there was some lagging in the gameplay, which was a little bit annoying. So, I've been playing with some settings, trying to get it to sort itself out. Seems to have improved things so far. So, right, what I thought we'd do, in order to fix a problem I had, I did a little trip over to Ireland. And I'm pretty sure Ireland's not in the base game, so Ireland, as far as I know, is all Promods. So we've got a job that we're just picking up from Ireland, going back to the UK, but it's going to part of the UK that I'm not convinced existed before Promods. So I thought we would have a look at that. So we have a quick look at the world map. We are down here, Rexford, in the south of Ireland, and we've got a job that's going to go over to here, Portree, which is, what would be closest to that? Inverness. I don't even think in the normal game I went that far north. As I understand it, I think Promods did a lot of work on the UK, and certain parts of it I haven't been to, so I thought we would have a look at that. Now, so long since I've had my dinner. Right, no, we're not loaded up yet, so we need to locate this cargo trailer, which will be round the back here somewhere. I couldn't remember if I'd hitched up or not. I just disappeared to have a quick bite to eat. Oh, there we go. Lizette Logistics. Right. Let's see if I can get this in first time. That would look around about right to me. And we shall find out if it slips in. I'll just force it in. There we go. We are coupled. Right, so let's. Whoa! Why am I still going backwards? I think, to be honest, before you couple, you should have to go into neutral and engage parking brake. But, in the real world of trucking, I know nothing. So I'm probably talking complete pants. Who knows? Right, so Ireland, of course, we still drive on the left. Pretty much everything else, I believe, nowadays is pretty European. I do like all these. The houses sort of look British, which is good. No, don't start lagging on me. I left OBS running, and I did a record so it would have been under load with the game running after I made graphical adjustments to try and stop it from lagging, and it just did it then. It might be a case that I just can't stop it. I've noticed on some other YouTubers' channels, like Clumsy, for example. I was watching him a few days ago. Lovely guy. If you haven't seen Clumsy's channel, Clumsy Trucking. But anyway, I was watching his stream and he had a tiny amount of lag in the game, It's all like little mini stutters. So I'm trying to drive the truck and keep an eye on my tablet to see how well the stream's doing, and so far it looks pretty smooth. Anyway, other than that, we're at the ideal time of day, first thing in the morning, just as the sun's coming up. As I said, I'm pretty sure Island does not exist in the base game. I've got a feeling it might all be pro mods. And if that's the case, wow. Modders these days are just getting almost as good as game developers. And I know in a lot of certain cases, I'll go to one in specific, The Sims 3, a game that I used to love, and I still do love it. I'm just a bit bored of it at the moment. But I have played many 1,000 hours of that game, and to be honest, NRAS mods, in the case of that game, are probably the reason why people still play the game now. And the game lasted so long in its lifespan. Because NRAS mods, they fixed the game basically. You know, the bits that EA Studio didn't want to do or couldn't do because they closed the studio that made it and sacked all the staff or whatever they did. So NRAS, Twalan, I think the guy's name was, who did the majority of it, was an absolute godsend. He made the game playable where it wasn't playable before. So when I sort of complain about hackers and things like GTA 5 and online shooters, I'd also appreciate the other work that they do in keeping games alive, making them all work where they didn't work previously. Or in the case of this, I mean, Promods just seem to have polished this game. And as usual, as soon as I put a YouTube stream on, my chest says, no, you're not going to do that. But if I wait for the chest to sort itself out, I could be waiting forever, because these things have a habit of sticking around with me, so... Thank God for knobs and twiddles though, that I can turn the mic off so you guys don't have to listen to it. If I don't catch it quick enough and you're wearing headphones and I suddenly cough, I'll apologise in advance, because, well, I know it's annoying. I do my best to alleviate it. But as I said, if I waited for a day where everything was 100% with me, I could be waiting forever, so... Well, the sun's not coming up quite as quickly as I hoped it would. Well, we're 6:15 in the morning. Just a quick look around without having any accidents. Not very good at driving sideways. One of the things I've been pondering is whether I should run some music in the background. when I'm streaming. I sort of understand copyright and you can't play stuff that's tied up in that, which I don't quite understand why, because you know, as far as I understand it, you can play music on Twitch no problem. So unless Twitch pay a bulk license fee or something, I don't know. But there are a couple of sort of like non-copyrighted radio stations I could play, or non-copyrighted playlists. But I think that's very sort of hit and miss in what you get. I can promise you one thing, I won't be forcing Justin Bieber on you, or anything like that. Anyway, in real life, I've never been to Ireland before. I understand it's an absolute lovely place, stacked with history. Obviously, unfortunately, it's had its problems over the years, but they seem to be smoothing themselves out with the help of various politicians, and I think Europe's probably done a lot to help Ireland out as well, to be honest. Like the European Union, but not being an Irishman, I don't really understand it. I sort of know what's going on as it's told to us on the news, but to be honest, I never trust the news to tell me the truth these days anyway. They tend to only tell you what they want you to know, or what the powers that be don't mind you knowing. I don't really want to do politics anyway, but despite that, what a lovely place. Oh, how did he drive? Did I drive into him, or did he drive into me? I didn't even get a chance to see how much it cost me. Never mind. It's always worth a little accident here and there. Keeps everything entertaining. Man, why does this thing stop so quickly? I just looked at the brakes and the thing came to a halt. We're in 31 limit. Llama bus. I'm guessing that is Gaelic for bus lane or something. Is it Gaelic in Ireland? I don't even know that for sure. OBI. Who the hell is OBI? Well, what's this, recruitment agency on the left? There are things to be discovered. Dublin discovered. Yep, a recruitment agency. Is there anything else to discover other than recruitment agencies? Oh yeah, of course, truck dealers. Duh. Trucking game, truck dealers. Right, last of my tea. Oh, that's good. A bit on the lukewarm side of things, but nevertheless, tea is tea. And a Volvo dealer. I've not really driven many of the Volvo trucks in this. As I always seem to default to the Scanias. And while I'm trying to build up the profile, and that's probably what I'm going to stick with. And as we get more and more into the game, I'll start playing with the other trucks. Now, the one thing I didn't do, that I meant to do, I was going to set up my little mini Logitech keyboard thingy. Oh, I can't even remember what it's called. A G something or another. You have to write these things down so I don't forget to do them. That was one of the things I was going to do while I was sorting the frame rate out. Right, what are we doing? Sitting behind a lorry that doesn't want to move. Come on. Ugh. Why did he not move? Did he break down? Let's see any hazard lights. I am going to have to go round him. I was waiting for a bang then as I made contact, but it didn't happen. Oi, wake up you. Is there even anybody driving it? Oh, can he see the driver? Oh no, there is one. Wake up. Oh. It's me saying wake up and I'm sitting at a green light. No, it's still stuck there. Oh well. Now, as I understand it, for those that don't know, traffic light sequences I don't think can be done in the game. It's something to do with limitation of the game engine, as I understand it. So, going through some of these junctions, we've got a habit in England of putting traffic lights on roundabouts. We can turn those down now, just put the side lights on. A little fender bender. I haven't seen any Guinness signs yet. I did see a Guinness lorry in the game. Now, I don't know if that's one of the previous mods that I installed, or I don't know where that's coming from, but a Guinness lorry come up, Heineken, IKEA, Tesco's, all sorts. Right, let's have some cruise control. That was the other thing I was going to do, was unrestrict the top speed. I didn't do that either. For the life of me, I can't remember what that little Logitech keyboard is. What number it, what model number it is, or whatever. Well, every time I think Logitech, I sort of get G27 and G29 stuck on the brain. Everything else goes out the window. Gotta say though, I do like their products, Logitech. And I use this. I use a thumb ball mouse, a trackball with the ball on the side, and it's the only mouse I like. I don't like normal movie about mouses. I think at one point they stopped making them, and then they were forced to start making them again because people were complaining that they weren't making them. And I think last time I brought one, I actually brought 3, so I've sort of got a stock. Because the only problem is that after a long period of use, you know, the buttons can get a little bit sticky, the left and right click buttons. Or they false trigger. I think the switches get dirty. Think about fuel at some point as well. Ooh, traffic. Well, I can block off the right hand lane. That should mean the whole world will get there quicker. Come on, I'm being patient. I'm going to let you all go. Oh, I'm not the ones creeping up on the inside of me. Come on. Come on. That's it. Off you go. Oh, I see a Union Jack up ahead. What's that all about? See, this is... I don't know what Ireland's like, but in the UK... roadworks. Nobody ever does the work on the roads. They're just all cordoned off. I'm not used to actually seeing people working. Ah, right, I see. So this must be the Northern Ireland border that we're going across. Just out of interest, where is that on the map? Okay. Not so many years ago, I believe there would have been security checkpoints and everything there. And depending on what happens with Brexit, I hate to say it, it could possibly happen again. Now, if I was a trucker in real life, this is the problem I would have. I would have to have a very big truck to carry enough tea to allow me to do the whole journey. Or I'd be pulling over every 5 minutes to buy one. Keep forgetting that I can put cruise control on. Loan installment rather. Bleh. My speech is getting worse. Ooh, another roundabout. Instantly down to 31 mph limit. Yo! That would have been interesting if I hadn't stopped. Great Bear. Oh, and the McDonald's. Well, the McDonald's has got to be Promods, surely. Well, no, actually, come to think of it, if I'm right anyway, the whole of Ireland is Promods. The north of Belfast. Roll on the higher levels. Still wanting more power under the right foot. But anyway, the changes I made seem to have improved things. And the game's a lot smoother than it was last stream. I took out about half a dozen mods that were in there. And to be honest, I probably didn't really need them anyway, because I think they all dealt with liveries on the side of trucks, and I think I've got a Promod add-on that does the same thing, so I'm sort of not really needed. And there we go, got a Tesco's coming up. Oh no, I'm not turning left here, am I? No, I am going straight. And he's obviously not going straight. Oh, come on. Maybe I should have been in the other lane. Maybe. going to the ferry, so we don't want to go to the northern docks by the looks of it. It's a very quick trip through Ireland, sort of along its eastern coast. It all looks very spectacular. Some lovely road junctions. Before I picked this job going back over to the UK, I was looking around for jobs that stayed within Ireland. Really, I wanted to go and have a look at the other side of it as well. But plenty more chances to do that in the future. I think currently on this profile, I think I'm at something like 3.2% that I've explored. And there's loads of new stuff for me to go and have a look at, you know, like Greece. And, there's just so much that Promods has put in that I just haven't seen yet. Oh dear. Okay, right turn. I might as well stay in the right hand lane because it looks like we're turning, well, right at the roundabout. Lawn. No. A bit too heavy on the speedo. Don't want those nasty tickets cutting into our profits. We'll mention again, I've got the fatigue in this turned off, so I don't have to do any rest stops. Unless of course it suits me. I'll get somewhere nice enough and we arrive at dark and I want to have a look at it. I'll probably send the driver to sleep just so that we can have a good look round the place in the daylight. No, the reason I turn the fatigue off is, yeah, I understand it's part of the simulation, but at the moment I want to build my profile up to what it was previously on the other version of the game that I had. Well, when I brought the game, I was thinking about keeping the same profile and transferring it over, but in the end, I made a rash decision and just quickly deleted the profile and deleted the box, and I thought, I might as well start everything from afresh. And of course, while I was doing that, I was looking into Promods and finding out how all that worked and how to set it up, which, to be fair, is pretty simple, but yeah, this must be the ferry. Oh, Coca-Cola lorry. I've not seen one of those before either. Are we not actually going to board a ferry here? Or are we? Yeah, no. That's a shame. It's quite nice driving into the ferries rather than just stopping on an anchor. Press enter, and we are going to... Well, that's the only place we can go, so that must be the right place. We've got roof flights. Engines running. We're in gear. We're driving on the left, and it's put me in this lane. It hasn't indicated that it's one way or anything. I don't think it was. Why did it put me in the right lane? You know, this is England, where we do it all wrong. Stranraer. Back in the days when we had World of Sport on television, you used to hear the name Stranraer all the time in the football results. To get things like, was it Dickie Davis in the World of Sports? That was it. God, if I think how much things have changed since I was a young lad. It'd be the same for anybody in their 50s, you know, anyone who was born in the 1960s. So we've experienced quite a time in history, you know. We've been domestically in the UK anyway, we've been war-free. Other than sort of like occasions like the Irish one and whatnot, and the Falklands, you know, compared to World War One and Two, like probably a walk in the park. Like, we've been lucky in that sense as kids of the 60s, so to speak. We've seen the advent of computers and where they started and what they've turned into now. Gone from black and white tellies to 4K Super HD. You know, we're kids of the 60s, like me, we really have seen a lot of changes in the world. Mostly positive, some negative. You know, gone from free love in the 60s to swipe left. Not that I've ever been involved in any of that, because God knows, I've been married so many years now. Good evening, whoever's just joined us. Good afternoon or good day, depending on where you are. Welcome to this very small, unheard of channel. I've come to the conclusion that YouTubing is a distraction to somebody's driving, trying to keep an eye on what's going on rather than just like watching what's going on in the game. I'm always looking for messages or see if anyone's watching or... It's been a bit of an education starting up a YouTube channel. Enjoyable. Bit of a steep learning curve in places, but I think I've got the hang of it now. Oh, cruise control. No, keep doing that. That's what comes with having cruise control set up on your joy hat button. I've got look left, right on it, and cruise control when you press down on it. And I don't always get it right when I press down. Still. Did it turn on? No, what are we on? 50 limit. Now, in real life, I've only been up towards Scotland on one, maybe two occasions. Once literally just up to the border of it to take somebody game shooting. It was quite funny. The guy I dropped off up there, I had to wait for to bring him back home, and at the very, very last minute, he decided he was getting a helicopter back into London, and he said to me, "I can't carry my guns on the shotguns. I can't carry my guns on the helicopter, so you can put them in the car and bring them to the house for me." I watched him take off in this helicopter, jumped in the car, drove the car back to London, rang his doorbell to hand him his shotguns, and he looked at me so shocked. He said, "You can't possibly be here yet." He said, "I've been inside the front door 25 minutes. So, by the time he got to Heathrow, or Norfolk, where the helicopter landed, and got back home into Holland Park, in the Bentley, I'd absolutely annihilated the helicopter. I won't talk about how fast I was going, but it was a Bentley. I can honestly say I wasn't hanging around. The guy was so shocked when I rang on the doorbell. He just looked at me. He said, "You can't possibly be here." He said, "How can you fucking well be here?" I do miss driving in real life, and I've got to say, this game and other driving sims, they really do help with that, because at first, when I gave up my driving licence, it was a struggle. You know, I was so pissed off with the world. But no, I think I've come to terms with it now. Right, back on cruise control. Don't know why, because I'm turning left in a minute. Just pressing buttons for the sake of pressing buttons. don't know what it is with this game. Is, you know, by rights, I shouldn't be enjoying it this much, to be honest, but I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm a racer at heart, and I sort of like buzz around at 1,000 miles an hour if I could. But there's just something about this game. I don't know. It's the graphics, the world. You know, I don't quite know what it is, but there is just something about it that I think is absolutely brilliant. I only found it literally about a week or so ago by accident, watching somebody else's YouTube stream. I was sitting there bored one day, and been playing GT Sport, and I'd had a particularly bad day with it. My driving was awful that day, and I was feeling a bit bad about that, which is silly because I was only playing a game for Christ's sakes. And I happened across Squirrel's channel. And Mark, I can never remember his second name, but he's a lovely chap anyway. But anyway, I saw the game on YouTube and I thought, oh, that looks interesting. It looks absolutely gorgeous. You know, I borrowed a copy and fell in love with it. I had to go out and buy the proper thing. The game impressed me first, and then I discovered Promods, and well, between them, it's just blown me away. A little sunset there in the background. Where are we going? We're coming off here. Yep, we is coming off. Still got a long way to go. Reminds me, looking over at that side of the map, I've got to get some fuel. Otherwise, I am going to be utilising the rescue services, which I've not done yet. It's alright, confusing myself. Saw those arrows on the right there. I'm so used to seeing the white highlights blocking roads off. Am I supposed to be going this way? But no, this is right. Oh, petrol station. That was me just talking about it, and I nearly drove straight past the damn thing. What's the fuel prices like in Ireland? Nope, we're not in Ireland anymore. We're in England. I don't understand this. In the base game in England, I was paying like £6 something for a gallon of fuel. Although that is a litre. And 4 litres, that's still pretty cheap for England. And that's when I last bought fuel. It's probably gone up tenfold since then. Apparently, if you want to cheat the system in this game, you can do. And when you fill up with fuel, you save your game, close it down before you pull away from the station. And apparently when you come back to the game, it forgets that you've just bought fuel and it doesn't charge you. Never tried it. I might have put too many spotlights on the front of the truck. My God. And of course, all my lights are pointing over to the right hand side of the road because I'm in a left hand drive. I'm probably blinding everybody over that side. In real life, they wouldn't be happy with me. Well, there's a camera. Like I said, the game's running a lot better since I made the graphics changes. I didn't do anything major. I just sort of like dropped down the anti-aliasing a little bit and made a couple of other small changes. Other than the little micro lags every now and again, which I haven't found a way of getting rid of yet completely. It's been running okay, and seeing I'm streaming off the same computer that I'm playing the game on, I'm quite happy. Scared the car on the right there out of the lane a little bit as I was looking at the sun. I just find everything's so good in this. The lighting in the game, the scenery. Go on about it forever and ever and ever. I'm on Rubbernecker. Put your foot down. I think that's supposed to be a Volvo in front. It's hard to tell because the rear lights on the Mondeo estate aren't unsimilar. That's one thing that I didn't want to remove and I managed to keep. That was Jazzy Cat's AI traffic mod. Sort of adds the real world cars into the game. That's a Volvo. Just makes everything look that bit more believable. Alright, we're changing lanes. Is that car going to move over? No, he slammed on the anchors instead. Motorway. Most definitely a British sign. We're staying on a 60. Whoa! I think we're coming off here. So busy talking to myself, I forget to look at where I'm going and keeping an eye on the map and stuff. That's one thing I have noticed with this game. It's just reminded me back there. When you pull out off of a connecting lane onto a motorway, it's very, very rarely you have to worry about any traffic coming when you merge onto the motorway. It's going to catch me out one day because I tend to just race my way down them now. Banking on the game not putting anything there, and one day it's going to, just to catch me out. Oh, look at that little wind pump. This is all the best bit of the countryside without the smell of the cow shit. I would imagine though that would be one thing that would be very, very, very difficult. Well, in present times impossible, I would imagine, to implement into a game. Is smells of the surroundings. Sort of don't doubt that it will be possible in the future at some point. By some sort of wizardry. You know, maybe something to do with these new quantum computers. It's like virtual reality is, and it's still in its infancy. I mean, we're only on what, generation 1 or 2, maybe generation 3 in some cases. And I've got a PlayStation VR. It's the only one I own. I tried an Oculus, and I was pretty impressed, but to be honest, they make me feel violently ill after a very short amount of time. I did the Nordschleife in GT Sport in VR. Can't remember what car I was in, but by the time I'd finished doing that, it was only about a 10-minute drive, 8-minute drive, whatever. By the time I'd done that, I had to step away from the computer for an hour and let everything settle down. Felt so ill afterwards. Which is a shame because, you know, visually, I mean, it's a very good experience, and it really does sort of put you in the world that you're playing. You know, in that case, going around the circuit, it was very similar to the real thing, but without the actual movement sensation. It just makes you feel ill if you're not used to it. Somebody told me though, if you use VR, if you've got moving rigs in VR, that helps to stop you feeling sick because it adds some form of movement which goes with what's going on in front of you. It's unless I get super rich and move into a much bigger house, I will not be getting a full motion sim rig. It's just not going to happen. Number one, the cost. It amazes me on how much you can spend on a sim rig, you know. It really does. if I had the option to have full motion, you know, if I had the space and, well, could afford it, yeah, I think I'd definitely have it. Be rude and whiz round him. Didn't really want to kill off all the momentum and try and get back up to speed again. What's this? One of the famous locks on the left? No signs of Nessie. I suppose really I could put cruise control on, but I don't know. I think when you've got roads like this, I much prefer to actually sort of fully drive it as opposed to aim it round corners. Oh, we're speeding. Oh, that's a nice meaty corner for a truck. I used to live for roads like this. Nowadays, I think all the best roads are just filled with speed cameras or police. Give me a fast car or a bike on roads like these and I am a very happy man. Oh God. I see. I was trying to work out what was coming up from the sat nav and I couldn't quite put it off in my head. But it's a mini roundabout leading up to a right turn. Or a right bend. You know what? I've just got to stop here for a second. Just everything about this game looks so... Oh. Can't believe it's a 2012 game, you know. If I brought this today, well, I did. I brought this yesterday or the day before. I'd be happy with the graphics. Would be nice if they converted it to DirectX 11 though. That would help it run on newer machines a bit better, I suppose. But honestly, I've not got any complaints at all. if I was to be picky, I could find things, you know, like the smoke billowing from the chimneys there. I think could be a bit better and whatnot, but. Fort William. Just, oh, god damn it. Speeding cameras everywhere. I know you can turn them off, actually. You can turn the police fines off, which with me in some ways it would be a good idea, but being I've got the rest, the fatigue simulation side of it turned off as well, you know, I'll just ending up turning everything off, and I don't want to do that. It's like with money, you know, I haven't got a great deal of money at the moment, and I'm at a low level, and I know I can cheat my levels and I can cheat the money, but to be fair, I don't want to. I want a reason to drive me back to the game daily at the moment, and so the only thing I've got turned off is the tiredness simulation, because I want to build the profile up a bit, and that's sort of like edging me on at the moment. I pretty much want to get the truck back that I had in the borrowed version of the game. It's pretty much the same truck as I'm in now, but better engine, better chassis, more wheels at the back, better gearbox. Whoops, there's speeding again. One mod that I do want to try out, that I've heard about, from Mark. Why can't I remember his second name? Anyway, Mark, he plays this and other driving games, and all round nice guy. He was talking about a sound mod that improves the sound of the trucks and whatnot. I'm edging to give that a go, but it's like the other things that I want to do. I tend to finish playing the game and then I forget that I've got a to-do list in my head and nothing gets done. Slow. I can see why it says slow now. Inverness, Kyle of Lockhouse. My very limited experience of driving in Scotland in real life, it does have some absolutely wicked roads to drive. There's a little rest stop up on the left. actually labelled a lorry rest stop as well. Even better. Or a truck rest stop. I think lorry is a very, probably quite a British word, I think. That colour in the sky. Well, we nearly finished this drop. Well, he was going for an overtake. Yeah, 61 miles in this game is not very far at all. Or 65 miles. Think about maintenance when we drop this load off. Don't think it's going to be bad. I mean, there's only that one very little incident when we started the journey. I don't think there'll be a lot of repairs. What a quaint little petrol station. Oh, good God. Another blooming speeding ticket. Paying too much attention to the details of the petrol station to notice the change in speed. Dear, dear, dear. Right, I'm not going to shed any tears over virtual money. Is that another little castle? Little ruins. So much work has gone into this world map. You know, whether it's OG from SCS or new from Promods, so much work has gone in. There's another one there. He starts to overtake and then changes his mind very quickly. $40 miles an hour. A little village in the distance on the left. Well, I don't think I'd be speeding up this hill anyway with this engine. Might gain a bit of speed going down it the other side. I am going to put the cruise control on, just so I don't have to manipulate the retarder and set the speed. And the Isle of Skye. See how much road furniture we can take out, and I think that's our oh, there goes the sign. I think that's our destination ahead, Portree. I think is where we're going. Now if I am going to get any lag, I think it's probably going to happen entering the towns and whatnot. Oh come on, overtake them. Awful lot of police cars on the road. Another one keeps thinking about overtaking. Into a 30. Broadford discovered. Is that a B&Q? I'm not sure. They look like B&Q colours. Portree just ahead. 7 miles just around the corner. I wonder what the next journey's going to be. I'm not going to go for a mega long journey because I will be slipping off as soon as my wife is ready to watch Game of Thrones. And I've been hiding away from anything that could possibly give a spoiler to last night's episode. I'm wondering if the battle's going to commence. We've had 2 episodes leading up to the battle. Yeah, there we go. There's a little bit of lag coming in. So the next journey's not going to be a particularly long one because... Oh, did I just drive past it? Can I get to it from here? Typical. I come in the wrong way. I'm not particularly good at reversing in this as yet. Always turn the wrong way to start off with to get going where I want to be going. Alright, let's see if this time... Aha! Look at that! I must be getting used to it because I actually turned the wheel the right way this time. Oh no. But then I end up cheating so that I'll go forward a bit, get straightened up a bit more. to come round in time and save me? I think it is. Oh dear. What a mess. No, where are you going? Not a particularly good effort at parking there. Oops, no, I want to go that way a little bit. Oh, look at that, that's better. Not quite centred, but if it's good enough to press the T button, it's good enough for me. Let's have a look how we're done. Level 12. Let's see what job offers has this company got. Might as well fill up that there. Oh, unassigned points. Still got one left. Might as well do that. Press apply. What jobs have they got? Oh, London. Well, that should give us a good drive from the UK. How many miles is it? I don't know, but I think that'll do. That should be good enough to finish the stream on. Boom, 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 boom. Might have I straighten that up. Stick my head out the window. Have I got it right this time? We're just about to find out. Yes. Right, let's see if we can get out of this place. I'm not sure. I think I can drive out both sides. Maybe not. Maybe I can't. Alright. I'll make a mess of things once again. Wait until we hit something. Can we swing it round there? No chance. No chance at all. Dun, 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 dun. Well, that should give us enough clearance. Let's get the view straight. We should clear that alright. Okay, back to London. Back to my hometown. Let's have a bit more of a look at the work that Promods has done in the UK. I'm thinking right in saying that this version there was a lot of changes in the UK. Right, we are off how many miles? 774. Blimey. And I'm driving on the wrong side of the road. was getting so used to driving in Europe. Clear that way, clear that way. Why is my cat so dyslexic with doors? Bear with me 1 second. Why don't you go out through the window? Blah 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 me. Get out, little monster. Oh, amazing, isn't it? Oh god, and another one appears. We look at cats as pets and they look at us as slaves, I swear. In the case of my oldest cat, it's a case of do it now or else. If he wants something, God help you if you don't respond. And because I'm home most of the time now, he comes to me for absolutely everything. Well, that speed change doesn't make sense to me. Brief step into a 50 to go back into a 30. IGA. Is that the games organisation? IGA. No idea what IGA is. Well, it wasn't B&Q, which is what I thought it looked like before I noticed the signage. Oh, and here comes the rain. Not that that's unusual in Scotland or in the UK. Oh heavens, that's the other cat acting up now. Back in 1 sec. You're just coming through the window to go into the... Get out! Honestly, cats. I've got 3 of them. And a dog. Taking care of the dog compared to the cats is simple. Fasten your safety belts front and back. There you go. That is the game tip of the day. No virtual seat belts to fasten though. Turn my fan off. It was getting a bit warm earlier, but I feel more on the chilly side now. Come on, you can do it. Struggle away up the hill. 2.40 limit. I could do without more speeding tickets, so let's put that on. Shouldn't get in trouble for 1 mile an hour over the limit. An hour and a 50 anyway. I've got to say the rain effect on the windscreen looks very realistic in this. I've done that very well. What's the road ahead like? I don't know if I can. Yeah, here we go. There's no point in putting the cruise control on because it's constantly changing. It's a nice tight one. This is where I got the other speeding ticket, wasn't it? No, well, whatever was causing the game to majorly lag before, I've obviously got rid of it and solved it. It seems to look alright on the stream. In person, for me, it looks fabulous, but one of the things I had to do was drop the bit rate to in OBS to help it out a bit as well, because obviously streaming takes a hit on the CPU and in my case the graphics card, because I'm using the graphics card to do the bulk of the encoding. I'd say for a laptop, it's doing really, really well. Yeah, it's a gaming laptop, but you know, it's still a laptop. As it happens at the moment, I don't need a laptop and I'd probably be better off with a tower system, but at the time I got it, a laptop made sense as opposed to a tower system, because I was moving around a lot, you know, I could be in bed for a few days and it was just easier for me to have a laptop at the time and it could follow me whether I was in here, in bed, in the living room, you know, wherever I was I could take it with me, and it made sense. But nowadays I don't really need that quite so much. A little Union Jack next to the Scottish flag. straighten the camera up again. Right, things to do. Plug my little Logitech keyboard thingy in, because I can use a little joystick on that as the look, because it's self-centering. I want to give that a go. It will also be handy to have some buttons on the left hand side for rather than reaching over to the right behind the microphone for the keyboard. Can't for the life of me remember what model of the Logitech keyboard device thing it is, but I will let you know in the next stream. I'll probably put down what it is in the description or something. Somebody's bound to ask me. I'm not even sure if they make them anymore, but it's just like a little USB mini keyboard with a small display on it. Just get a little joystick on it and lots of programmable buttons, and I've used it for so many different games and things over the years. But at the moment it's sitting in a cupboard. I haven't used it for a while, but I'm hoping it still works. Still drivers and whatnot available for it. But I found it was useful in a lot of games because you can do programmable keystrokes on it. Little sort of like mini macro type things, which can be useful in some situations in some games. I used to use it. I used to play a game called Silk Road Online years ago. That's when I actually brought the thing. Because in Silk Road, it's an MMORPG or whatever they call them, and there's a lot of repetitive keystrokes. And when you're grinding away through mobs, sometimes you can get fed up with pressing the same 3 keys a billion times. So I just used to set up little macros on it to do it for me, and press a button and off it would go. It's almost like having sort of your own personal little bot running, but not quite as good as a bot. But in certain cases it was very useful. I also used it a little bit playing Battlefield 1. I found it useful for that because of my current seating position, and I can't remember what I was doing at the time, but I couldn't get the keyboard directly in front of me for Battlefield 1, so having a little mini keyboard that I could squeeze in was ideal. Let's let him overtake. We're back at Fort William. Currently pointing towards Glasgow. Never been to Glasgow. Seen it on telly plenty and whatnot. Good place for a night out from what I've been told. I got 639 miles left. got this brake pedal of mine on the G29. It's so sensitive on this game. You only need to look at the pedal and everything comes to a stop. Ah, damn my chest. Oh, that's another mod that I've got installed in this, is a coach pack, or a bus pack. Another one by Jazzy Cat. It sort of changes all the bus lines and everything into names that some of us might recognise or not. Little petrol station. Apparently the petrol station mod I've got doesn't cover the whole of the UK at the moment. It does pretty well in Europe. Nice thunderstorm. Well, not so little. I was just struggling up here. Not much traffic in this part of the world. Well, not in the game at least. Whoa! How's the police going to overtake on a blind corner? Come on. It's only a little hill. It's not Ben Nevis. A82. Makes me laugh, some of these little roadside events that go on in this game. Ugh. Maybe I should be having some more cough medicine. Maybe. I don't think there's any way at the moment I could possibly play GT Sport coughing and choking like that. Would not induce good lap times at all. Yeah. Almost popped out an eyeball with that one. Well, good evening, whoever's just joined us. Always nice to have a visitor or two. Oh, look at these lovely roads. I should be in a Porsche GT3 or something round here. Almost feels like full-blown man flu again. Oh, that was nearly an accident. Car trying to overtake me, facing oncoming traffic. Nice to know I'm causing problems for some people. Virtual people. There we go, in the left turn. Edinburgh Castle. far we got? 520 miles. Miles just go so quickly in this game, they really do. Now, you look at the information, in 1 minute you've got sort of like 1,500 miles to do, and you look 5 minutes later and it's like 900 miles. It's like, ooh, where did all those miles go? I'd be tempted here just to cut straight right there rather than go around a roundabout. But we must behave ourselves and obey the rules of the road. I will at some point do a live stream of the game online. I've said previously I'm kind of looking forward to going online. I've got everything set up to do it. Pretty much I've just got to disable my mods and off we go. But I'm not looking forward to it in the sense of no AI traffic. So you only see other users' trucks, and I think there's a few cars driving about, but no AI traffic whatsoever. And of course, to go online you got to disable Promods, which at the moment is giving me a lot of joy just looking at the work that they've done. So I'm in a quandary at the moment. I want to experience online, but I don't want to give up Promods to do it. So but I mean, the servers online still look busy enough. I think there's 3 or 4 servers when I had a look last night that were active. One of them had around about 1,500 people on it, and the others were quite a bit quieter. But still, 1,500 people on one server is pretty damn good. And it does look like it could be a laugh online. And it's a case if it's going to happen, we will be doing it. It's just a case of when at the moment. That was a waste of time changing lanes, wasn't it? Apparently there's a mod you can get with the cement trucks that makes the drum roll as it's driving along. Don't know what mod it is. I'm sure I will find it somewhere. So quickly get on the speed limit before I get a ticket. Of course, the problem with mods is they increase loading times and in some cases decrease frame rate. So as much as I like having lots and lots of mods on this current PC, I think I'm going to be limited as to how much I can get away with. I think a bit of experimentation and trial and error, and I should at some point be able to find a mix of mods that I'm happy with. One mod that I do want to have a look at in particular, and I'm not sure what its status is at the moment is the one that gives you Ford trucks. It'd be nice to see if the Ford trucks are any good. One of my favourite vehicles years ago was the Ford Transit. I used to love driving them, could chuck them around all over the place. My days as a delivery van driver, God, I must have spent thousands of hours inside different Ford Transits over the years. Of course, the Mark 1 Transit was also a very, very iconic getaway vehicle for gangsters in the UK. That vehicle was used in so many different jobs. That and the big Jaguar at the time. Getaway vehicles of choice. Not that I know a lot about gangsters at all, of course. Post Ed Express. Post Ed makes me think of poor Eddie's dead. The Dead Ed Express. We need to change lanes here. See who we can upset. Wasn't that bad after all. Anyway, where are we? 416 miles away from London. And that truck's moving slowly. I would probably make a disastrous truck driver in real life. I understand that car's just backed off for no apparent reason. I mean, didn't go over the white lines or anything. She's heard about my reputation. Oh, come on, get out of the way. And we're on a 50 limit as soon as I get everything set up. I'm not sure if I'm right when I'm saying this or not, but I think these days on British Road, on motorways, I don't think truckers are allowed in the third lane. Might be wrong. I seem to remember that being the case. Because I'm being lazy sitting in the middle lane, mainly because I know I've got to change lanes to avoid disjunction here. But the other interesting thing I found out is if you pull up behind these people in the outside lane and flash your lights, they move over. Which is an interesting game physics. The AI traffic in this is very good, but it does do strange things occasionally. Like that truck just sitting in the outside lane for no particular reason. Bloody rubberneckers. We're doing mileage wise 350. Keeping an eye on it because I know my wife is going to be after me to come out and watch Game of Thrones very shortly, and I'm kind of eager to see it anyway after waiting so long for them to make this series. It's almost sad to think that this is the last series. The other big one I'm waiting to watch is Avengers Endgame. Trying to avoid spoilers on that one at the moment. All I've really heard about it so far is it's 3 hours of non-stop packed action or something along those lines. Everything I've heard about it so far has been nothing more than brilliant. So, really looking forward to getting a chance to see that. I was gutted when I left the last film off, you know. Everybody disintegrating, end of film. You can't leave it like that. What are you doing to us? No, they did. It's been a long wait waiting for the film to come around. Right, I'll move to the inside again. Nice Range Rover. That's the one on the left. What is that, a Merc? I think that might have been the Merc. I'm not sure. dear. I'm not really concentrating on what I'm doing at the moment. Alright, Manchester and Birmingham. Clouds are going away. Oh. Sneaky speed change again. Nice. Who's that? Vieto? Whoops. Reading the chat, not paying attention to where I'm going. Ooh. It says an awful lot. Ooh. Out of the doom and the gloom and into a relatively nice day. Well, that's not untypical in the UK. The weather does tend to change very quickly here sometimes. What was it about? Easter, not very long ago at all. That was blazing sunshine and I was getting a suntan in the garden. And a couple of days later, I'm freezing. Looking for a jumper to put on. And apparently we've got warm weather on the way again. Spend a little bit of time in the garden if the sun comes out. Get some vitamin D. I'll keep drifting over to the right. I'm really not paying attention. It doesn't really matter, it's not like I'm going to kill anyone in the game, but... That car's supposed to be, if it's a Mustang or M6 corridor motorway improvements. Oh. I'm thinking that was a Promods sign. As I said before, I played the game for so short a time, I don't really know what is Promods and what isn't. Oh dear, thank God for being able to turn the microphone down. Oh, man flu. It's a killer disease, I'm telling you. I know women take the mickey out of it and whatnot, but I consider it to be a serious illness. Oh God, what's happened there? Oh, that's back. I lost the stream on my tablet for a minute there. I wasn't sure if OBS had crashed or something, but no, it seems to be working still. They're saying man flu though, killer disease. Women just don't understand how bad it is, they really don't. Hola! Hi, good afternoon, evening, welcome. I need to finish this drop and go and get cough medicine. Hi Jaden. Evening. Yeah, cough medicine and a bit of sympathy from the wife. As if that's ever gonna happen. Where are we going? We've just come from Scotland and we're heading into London at the moment. I was just checking out what Promods have done in the UK. The problem I've got is I'm new to the game, so I don't quite know what's SCS's work and what's Promods work, but to me that says a lot about Promods work if it doesn't distinguish itself that much and it blends into the game that well. That just tells me that they've done an awesome job of what they've done with the game. Right. Just gonna bugger off down there. What we got left? 156 miles, not far at all. And I'll end the stream when we drop this one off. And I think that'll be my lot for the day. Be Game of Thrones and maybe an early night, but every time I say I'm going to have an early night I end up being up till 3 or 4 in the morning, so I don't know why I bother saying that. after Game of Thrones will be a relax watching other YouTube channels. There's many people I watch out there. Whoever else has joined us, good evening. Yeah, I don't think I've ever had this many people in the chat at the same time. Right. Thank you very much for joining me. It sounds bad what I've just said, but you know, it's a very new channel. I've only been going, I think, less than a month, maybe a month. I didn't really expect to get any viewers at all, to be honest. Initially, it was just so I could analyse my own driving in GT Sport and whatnot, and work out where I was losing time from. YouTube's useful for that. You've got a choice. You either take up lots of hard drive space when you record something you want to watch back, or thanks to people like YouTube, you can upload it and it's there. You don't have to worry about it. Other than maybe people taking the piss out of you driving online, but that hasn't happened yet, so not that I'm concerned about that anyway. If I can make anybody entertained for 5 minutes, I'm quite happy about that, even if they think it's negative. If it entertains them for a few minutes, whatnot, then it's done the job. Ooh, we got speed cameras. These brakes are really harsh on these trucks. Actually, you got to slow down and you end up stopping. And I hate the way these cars do that. Slow down so much when they go past these little incidents. Yeah. I'm going to be in the messy bit. Because I wasn't paying attention. London Luton. Not quite normally this erratic, but struggling up the hill. Really looking forward to getting higher levels so I can get a beefier engine again. Logistics. I'm not concentrating anywhere near as much as I normally do. Definitely time for a break. Well, we're not going to Cambridge, so I don't want to be in the left-hand lane. Heading back to my hometown. I can see the improvements they've done in and around London in Promods. That is. I did check out London, pretty much all of London that you can get to in the base game, just to see what they'd done with it. And to be honest, I wasn't that impressed. I didn't think they'd done a great deal with London, you know, other than the backdrop of Gherkin and a few other buildings that you can't get anywhere near. It didn't really impress me that much, but there seems to be a lot more involved in it now with Promods. I think that should be the next sim, you know. I think could be quite popular, is if they did the sim based on the black cab driver's knowledge, where you have to learn London. I mean, it'd be an immense programming task, you know, putting London down, the complete London down as a map would be an immense task, you know, but being the black cabs are a bit of a tourist attraction anyway, and to be honest, in some ways it's a changing industry as well. I don't think with the advent of sat-nav and whatnot that drivers are going to have to, or do have to do quite as much work as they used to before they can get their sort of like badge license to be a black cab driver. No, that one would interest me, you know, the whole of London map in one game. I'd enjoy that. I want to check out that Fern bus sim as well. I've got a copy that I can have a look at of it, but when I had a brief 5 minutes to have a look at it, I didn't really take much of it in. It wasn't a great day for me, but I've still got it hidden away somewhere, so I'll have a look at that. If that's any good, I'll go out and buy that as well. Been told graphically it's quite good. First initial impressions when I looked at it was that I didn't like the UI, the user interface on it. And setting my steering wheel up didn't seem to be quite as intuitive as it could have been, so I didn't even really get to drive one of the buses in it, to be honest. But I do want to give Fern Bus a go at some point in the future. Maybe American Truck Sim as well. But I can't imagine that it would be this much different from Euro Truck Sim, other than a different map and, you know, different trucks like Peterbilt and whatnot, with the engines up front rather than the cab over the engine. I'm still on the fence with American Truck Sim. I don't know if I want to go that route yet or not. I mean, to be honest, if I got American Truck Sim right now with this, yeah, my poor racing game, you know, GT Sport, my stats are going to go backwards and backwards and backwards because I'm never going to get a chance to get on it. Because at the moment, this game's taking all my attention. And I still haven't quite worked out what the hook is with this game, what I like so much about it. I know the things I like, you know, I keep talking about them, but I never imagined it would be a game that I'd be attracted to. And you know, once I started playing it, that was it, hooked. Right, well, this one's nearly done. 7 miles. So, that'll be the end of the streaming for me for today. Chest willing, back tomorrow, probably during the daytime at some point. Game be depending on how I'm feeling, to be honest. I mean, I'd like to keep busy when I'm not feeling 100%, but there's limitations to it sometimes, and I don't want to sort of like do myself a mischief. So this is all the North Circular. Now I actually know this bit of road, and this bit of road is blooming accurate. It's been really well done in the game. And I'm not sure that the North Circular was in the base game at all. I've got a feeling that's all Promods work. Well, most of this is all sort of like, building wise, no, it's not accurate, but road layout wise, it's pretty amazing how close it is. Modders just... Sometimes modders are a nightmare when they're hacking into things like Battlefield and stuff like that online, but then other times with games like this, they just they come along and they excel themselves, and this is one of these cases. Promods has just excelled themselves with what they've done with this game. There we go. Getting a little bit of lag on screen as we're coming up into built up areas. Nothing near as bad as I was suffering earlier though, so... See the frame rate hovering around there, 45. It's not particularly good, but it'll have to do. Yeah, it's making it hard to drive in places. But still, I can't. Oh my god, I'm going to get sandwiched. Where are these people going? Probably my fault because I'm in the wrong place. What is that truck doing? It's like trying to cut across 3 bloody lanes. Let's go straight ahead by the looks of it. To be fair though, probably as much my fault as I'm not paying attention at the moment. He's coming back for another bite. AI traffic most of the time, blooming fantastic. Every now and again you look at something that's happening in front of you and it's like, what the f is going on? I was doing a stream yesterday and one of the cars started reversing in and out of the blooming petrol station onto a dual carriageway in front of fast moving traffic. That was entertaining. A13. Hang on, I had to think there for a minute. We drive on the left. See, I mean, you got all this lovely little like gherkin and stuff and all the rest of it, but I just don't think you can actually get close to it. Central London, Isle of Dogs, Canary Wharf. And where am I going to? I'm turning right just up here. Yeah, so I don't think you can go past those white barriers, can you? Still, it's nice that somebody's made an effort. Sort of somewhat reminiscent of the A13, heading towards town. Again, a bit laggy, so that's a good place to end the stream. Back on home territory. Right, where do you want me to park this damn thing? Right, okay. Here's a reversing job. Now I get to watch my absolute terrible reversing. My brain has now got to think which way I've got to turn to do this. That way maybe. Oh, we must be getting better. I think we picked the right direction. We destroyed the bins. My God, I'm not going to get in there like that. There's boxes of rubbish everywhere. You know, I think under the circumstances that I want to get away and whatnot, I'm going to end it there, and I'm going to cheat by pressing enter to park. Like so. Cost me a little bit of XP, but at this stage I don't care. Anyway, for everyone that joined me, thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. And I will be back with more streams as soon as I possibly can. I don't think it'll be this evening, probably tomorrow. So anyway, I wish everybody a good night, a good day. Wish you all good health and happiness, and I shall catch up with you in the very near future. So good night all.